TitleMatchNetwork.com.
We're up in another one of these things. We're up in Montreal, coming down the St. Lawrence Seaway from, God, we're on the state side of the St. Lawrence up there. It's Chicoutimi, not Chicoutimi, or I can't think of it at the moment. Anyway, we're running down the highway, traveling. You got beer in the car, you know, you got a little bit of smoke in the car, and you're traveling down the road, and you, and all of a sudden, they're pulling everybody over up here. Oh, Jesus, they got a road check. So it's like stuff everything, you know, you got 12-pack of beer or more. You got smoke and you're hiding everything, you know. And of course, they pulled everybody over in line. And of course, here they come to the car and they roll the window down. You roll the window down. The Mountie is, you know, because we're up in Quebec.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I went, American, I don't speak French. Oh, just American. The guy up front goes, ah. He just stepped away. He says, and he just let us go.
Wow.
But they'd have had us again. We'd still be up there. You know, there's a lot of those kind of stories that everybody's got them, you know, and on the other side of that, you shouldn't do those things because we all know why. You live and die. But you know, I was over in Japan with Barry Darso. Was the Axe or Smash, or Axe and Smash? Anyway, we were discussing how many people we know that have died for whatever reasons in the business, and we got up to 350.
Wow.
So I'm the lucky one. You know, there's only a few of us that made it through, and the old timers that you see, they're just the ones that got through it. There's a lot of dead ones that have moved on, are waiting for us to get there.
You have any good road stories from the territory?
Jeez. Well, there's a lot of good road stories, but you know, I don't know, nothing that really stands out like, you know, that something really crazy happened. We got away with a lot of stuff, a lot of drinking and driving.
Yeah.
A lot of the drugs and driving and all of the stuff, the stupid shit that would happen. You know, I can remember one time driving back from Tulsa, and we had gotten some ecstasy up there. And we thought, oh, this would be cool. Yeah, we'll do this, you know. So now we're driving home, and don't do this, people. But, you know, during the time we thought we were indestructible. We're driving back, and pretty soon the lines in the road feel like they're going right through you. Oh, man, you can't even drive, you know. And so we had to pull over. I'm fine, I'm driving, but the person in the front seat over here, they kept saying, oh, man, stop, the lines are going right through me. You had to get in the back seat, put somebody else up front, and when we're doing that, we're stopped taking a piss, you know, and we got the trunk open and getting a few more beers, you know, and just as the last guy's getting in the car, here comes a cop pulling up.
Wow.
Pulls up behind us. Everything okay? Yeah, we just had to go to the bathroom, and they shut the trunk, and he got in the car, and the cop went on by, and we just went on down the road. There's a lot of stupid crap like that. I can remember driving from Calgary, Edmonton back into Calgary, and of course, don't do this, you know, but we were drinking whiskey sevens, and oh God, we drank like a whole bottle of whiskey seven, and we're driving back into Calgary, doing about 80 or 90 into town. Of course, you get pulled over by the Mounties, you know. Of course, here we are, Americans. Oh, God, you know, they're looking at us like, oh, what the Sam? You know, of course, the whiskey bottle's right in the car. Yeah, okay, all right, you know. So, you're out of the car, and they lay there like, well, what's in the trunk? Well, nothing, you know. Well, I'll open the trunk. Okay, I open the trunk, and there's my shotgun laying there. Wow. Jesus, you know. I had brought the shotgun. I have no idea why I brought a shotgun with me to Canada. You know, I was going to Canada. I don't know, because I always carried this shotgun with me around the country. I don't know, just a shotgun that you'd have at your house or wherever you're staying. And for some reason, it was in the trunk. And the guy looked at me and he went, "Oh, Jesus!" You know, I went, "Well, you know, I don't know. It wasn't loaded or nothing, you know."
Yeah.
And so he says, I got the hole in the whiskey bottle, and he goes, "Well, pour that out." And I poured it out, and he says, "You know, get rid of it." And I looked around like, "Whoa." And I threw it in the trunk and shut the trunk. He says, "No, get out of here." Because we were right in close, and we were very close to where we were going. And he didn't want to, we were drunk, but we weren't really bad.
Yeah.
And I don't think he wanted to mess with the paperwork. He just go.
Okay.
And so, you know, and then.
Do you want to write a book? It sounds like you have an awesome book of road stories. You have a ton of them.
I don't, I guess I could, but I've never really, you know, I can't spell Bob. So how I could write a book, I don't know. My sentences would be run-ons. I don't know adjective from a verb. Could I write a book? No. Could I tell stories and somebody else write it? Maybe. You know, but nobody's ever brought it up, I guess.
Is it hard after all those years of wrestling full time to adjust to life after wrestling, or is it kind of a relief in a way?
It's a little of both. You know, at first it's hard to go back to, you know, become a normal person, if you will, you know, to have a everyday job, because you've spent 20 years not reporting to anybody. You know, you reported only to yourself and the promoter, and if you didn't like the promoter, you left, you know, and when you got in the ring, no matter what they tell you in the back, when you get in the ring, you're in charge. I don't care what the deal is. You can do anything you want in the ring, right? The only thing they can do is not put it on TV. You can't not show it to people. They're sitting there live, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the biggest thing that you miss getting off the road is the performing and the camaraderie of the boys.
Yeah.
The rest of it's...
What we usually ask the guys and the girls when we wrap up the shoot interviews is maybe a favorite rib that they've seen, maybe a favorite rib they've pulled, you know, anything. I mean, everybody seems to have one or two that they remember.
Well, I'm just trying to think. There's always something, and as soon as you turn the camera off, something will come to mind. But, you know, ribs those were a very, very tender thing, because ribs turn into fights and bad feelings. You know, hiding the snake on Jake the Snake. I don't know. I can't think of them necessarily. I was never a big ribber. You know, I can't think of, you know, Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid and those guys. They were, you know, Owen Hart was. As far as personally, a rib, I can't.
No.
Sorry, I'm a failure. I can't think of a rib. I'll write one in when I think of it. I don't have one at the moment at the top of my tongue.
Wow. Do you have anything else scheduled with WWE? Any DVDs or any?
No, I don't. No, nothing really.
Nothing coming up.
Nothing. I'm done.
There's a convention going on tomorrow. There's like a Q&A. Anybody you're looking, anybody you hope to maybe run into over the summer at a convention or something, like one guy or one girl where you're like, wow, I'd really like to see that.
There's many. I've wondered where Stan Hansen is. I've wondered where Tommy Rich is. I've wondered different people that come in. Where are the Fullers? You know, there was Robert and the other. Just there's so many of these people that have come and gone. There was a kid in Louisiana, his name was Richard Blood. And then he went to Calgary with us, and, you know, he was such an odd bird that I always wondered whatever happened to him. Just different people. Like I said, the thing you miss the most is performing and the boys, and the camaraderie of the guys that you run up down the road with, you know. Mike George, where are you? I ran with him in Louisiana for 9 months when I was relatively green, and he'd been in for some years, and ran with him all the time. Haven't seen him since. Whatever happened to chair shots? I'm telling you. They said, "Don't call me Yellow." He was in Louisiana.
Oh.
What's his name? He wore the leather thing on his arm. See? I got you too.
I know who you're talking. I can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to him? And I heard Randy Tyler died. Jim D, are you out there? Down there. Great people, but what happened to him? I don't know.
Yeah.
You run here and you run there, and when you're doing it, you don't think nothing of it, and you never took any pictures. That's not cool. It's just, and you don't have time, right? And you're running from place to place. But now when it's over, you go, golly, where'd it go?
Yeah. Do any kids or teenagers come up to you now, because WWE, they have their 24/7 channel, and they show all the old world-class TV shows, and you and your brother are on there a lot. So it's
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta get that channel, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting, They show.
No, people still recognize,
Yeah.
Sometimes they're, but that, to me, it's like water up a duck's back to me. I guess I don't pay any attention anymore over all the years. I just got used to if someone's looking at you, okay, they're a wrestling fan, and you just go on with it. If they walk up, you say hello. If they don't, you just go on,
Yeah. In closing, do you want to say anything to your fans?
For any of those people coming up and just getting started, remember, just like Bruce Springsteen said, it can be gone in the wink of a young girl's eye.
Oh, thank you very much.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.